Hello and welcome to this first version of the WareHouseStuff pack. In this pack you'll see a whole bunch of crates, pallets, trucks and boxes, some lockers, trolley, some stairways which are going to become even more elaborate packs, but a little introduction, some packaged, wrapped type goodies and shelving. Now these are all using more or less the same texture sets, and there's some nice shaders in here, such as like this one here. We just search for the material and open that up. You'll see that it has in here a mixer amount which goes between this clean texture and the secondary texture, and that's the corresponding normal map and roughness map, ambient occlusion, roughness and metal map, and you can basically go between this amount to make the lockers look rusted. You can also go ahead and change the hue effect of that if you wanted to get even more variation. Change the hue up of these. You might want to just change the hue of the base one to get a base locker type of appearance. You can also mess with the roughness value to make it look shiny or warm, the normal map power, the metalness as well, final contrast, so we can make it darker or slightly lighter, desaturation, so you can make it more colourful or grayscale. We can also pre-contrast any of the custom colouring, so if there's custom colouring in here using the mixer, or the custom colouring amount, and you'll see these are controlled by these two colours, so we can add red in there, and let's just put blue in here. You get even more funky stuff happening, so we can pre-define that mask and the amount, play with the saturation, final contrast, hue shift, the mixing, and we can get a pretty much unique looking locker from all these settings. We can bring the ambient occlusion in a bit higher, play with the initial albedo, and get a completely new look to everything. So I'm just going to reset everything here. Just reset everything. Like this. And go ahead and just fine tune this a little bit. So pre-multiply the initial albedo, a little bit of the mix, going a little bit of rust, maybe some final contrast, and we can play with the roughness a little bit, desaturation, and yeah, that's pretty good. So that is that shader, the mixer one. You also get another shader that's a little bit simpler than this. So if I click on one of these trolleys, let's just have a look at that, and you'll see this has only got 3 textures in here. It does have some control for the pre-multiply, for making it darker or lighter, so you can get a kind of unique look from that. We've got the AO into albedo as well as the power of the AO, make it look even more oily. The custom colouring is going to bring in these 2 tones, so anything dark is going to be black, anything white, anything bright is going to be white, and from that you can kind of make new tones up and get a really even stylized look, make this looking like it's completely unusual object. We can also change the pre-contrast mask, so we can get a little bit of a difference in here. Now we have to play with the pre-multiply as well here to really see this, and I have to make these tones a little bit more apparent, but we can get a look like that and play around with these tones. This is really just for a unique look to everything. You can mess with these and make any kind of unique look that you want. Shift the hue around, and you can play around with the mask again. Custom colouring, we can go back to the original sort of tones and change the hue back and all these other things, and we get most of it back there. So you can make some fine-tune adjustments here to suit your game. I'm just going to go ahead and reset these. Okay, that's pretty much the two shaders that you get for this whole pack, and quite a lot of variations in the materials here. So the same asset with variations of those shaders applied. So this one is just that last shader that you saw with the 3 maps, and some variation with the sliders gives you this blue palette, slightly more stylized one. Some of these are using the mixing shader to go between a clean version and a rough version, so we've got the clean and the dirty, and you basically just use the mixer power to go between one and the other. You can get a whole lot of variation in there, so that's pretty useful as well. So that's it for this version of the pack. In the future we'll be adding more props, some modular pieces for a building, anything that you request as well we'll likely add. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy using this asset pack. Bye for now.